Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Joypad Podcast. My name is Tom. I don't sound as sick as I used to, and we are here with the whole gang this time out. Yay! Spooky month is over. Long live spooky month. Yeah, that's about all I really have to say. We're about to get to that part of the year where we chop turkeys' heads off, except if you're the president, then you say, hey, live on, turkey. Be cool.
You get a pass.
Yeah. I am gonna throw to Megan. How you doing? What you drinking? What games you playing?
I'm wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, I'm drinking, as always, my unsweetened iced tea, my leaf water. As far as what I've been playing, I've actually been playing a lot, and it's been a little bit since we recorded, so I don't really remember what I talked about. But I picked up the newish DLC for Resident Evil 8. Where you play as Ethan's daughter. Super short, fun though. Really enjoyed it. She's magic. That's about all I'll really say. But it was fun. It was short. I think there's like an achievement if you complete it in 3 hours. If you want to do like a speed run challenge. I picked up the new God of War, which is less boy and more, you won't speak to me in that tone, young man. But it's a lot of the same. You paddle around in a boat, you go to little islands and figure out whatever the puzzle is there and move on. I like it though. It looks nice, it plays nice. It's just pretty much the first game, just a different story.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've been playing. Oh, I played a fun little game I found on Steam called it's either Safe Room or Save Room. Let me look at my library right here. Yeah, Save Room. It's an organization puzzle. So it's like you took Resident Evil inventory management and made it into a game. It's like $5 on Steam.
No.
You like have to load guns and heal yourself and like craft potions. It's like 40 quick levels. I think I finished it all in like an hour or two last night while listening to some stuff on my computer. But it's fun. It's just like a cute little game, and for $5 I was into it. So I highly recommend if you're looking for something to kind of zone out to while you listen or watch to other stuff. But that's about it for me. Excited for Pokemon to come out. I'll play it at some point. I don't know if I'll rush to get it, but I'll get there.
For anyone listening, it is Pokemon Eve.
It is Pokemon Eve.
And I ordered it online from a store that's in Florida, and I'm not sure if it's going to get to me tomorrow or not. So we'll find out.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's all Megan's fault. She sent me the link.
I don't even remember really doing that.
You sent it on the group chat, and then I followed it. That's all.
Yeah, I believe it, but I just don't remember. No recollection. You can't accuse me of anything.
I have the receipts.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, that's about it for me though. Mr. Pinto, how are you? What are you drinking and what are you playing?
I'm all right. I am drinking a non-sponsored Pepsi Cola, as is my wont. I'm once again the Pepsi boy. That's my jam. I have not been playing too much because I've been reading a lot recently. And when I start reading, I don't play as many games because I only have so much free time, So I've
How dare you participate in culture?
Well, I'm reading about wizards. Does that make it better? It's not Harry Potter.
Wizards?
It's,
yes.
excuse me, it's actually Harry Dresden, so... I am mostly just playing Resident Evil 4 at this point. I just finished yours and everyone's favorite part of the game, the Cabin Siege, which was so popular that they put it into Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, different versions of it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. I'm interested, once again, I know we talked about this last episode, about the Resident Evil 4 remake. Very excited about that. It looks... The more I see of it, the more excited I get. It looks really good. The only thing that really bothers me about it is when you're fighting the Chainsaw Man, Dr. Salvador, there's an option to block the chainsaw, and Leon blocks it with his gun, and I'm like, that's not realistic at all.
I forgot.
But That's so far the only real gripe I have about it. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been playing anything else? I bought a game called Descent on Steam. Does anyone here remember Descent?
It sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
It came on like Windows 95 machines by
Holy
default,
shit.
I think.
I definitely played that game where you're like a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had that game.
Boy, it didn't age well. I got into it and I was like, what are the controls? How does this... What? It's not even like WASD. Like, I couldn't even figure it out. I was like, I closed it. I was like, I gotta look up I gotta look up how to play this game first. I need to prepare myself.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm looking at a video of it right now. Yep, I am pretty sure that CD is still in my parents' house. I remember shooting things and exploding myself a lot in that game.
I remember really, really liking it. So I was like, I wonder if it's on Steam. And hey, there it was. But I don't know how to play it anymore.
So I cannot see you not getting barfy playing this game. I'm very surprised.
The graphics are so primitive, though.
That is true. They're very primitive graphics. It's very polygonal.
Yeah. It makes me think of like it's basically like Doom, but you're in a ship. So like, that's pretty much all it is.
I went on Wikipedia because I was curious, and it says here that it was the first FPS to feature entirely true 3D graphics.
Oh.
That is really interesting.
When I figure out how to play it, I'll let you know how it goes. I remember I don't know how many levels there are. You must be able to beat it. Like, I can't imagine it's an endless game. But I think I would always die at, like, level 3. But I was also in the single digits when I played it, so...
Yeah.
Then again, I was better at it then than I am now. Ha ha! So...
I just saw it explode with, like, all the different weapons and stuff that you can get. And it sent back like a wave of nostalgia that's just been laying dormant in my brain somewhere.
And now you're going to buy it, aren't you?
I don't think so.
Oh, no!
I know I wasn't very good at it. I never had like a great time with it is the thing. I remember looking at it.
I also remember, do you guys remember Hover? That was another game that came standard on those machines. It was like
those machines.
It was like a maze kind of game where you were in a little hovercraft and you had to find the exit, and there were things that tried to kill you.
Enigma Pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Chips Challenge.
Nope.
Chips Challenge I think is still on like every computer ever made that has Windows. Ski Free.
Ski Free, yes.
Ski Free. Yeah. That 3D pinball thing.
The Cosmic Pinball, I think?
Space Cadet.
Space Cadet, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
SimTown and SimCity.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't come for free, though.
Oh, no, they weren't for free, but just everybody had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one called Hyperman. I remember Hyperman.
Did you just run around and go crazy all day?
It was like an educational game. I remember there was one where you had to like use a hot air balloon and follow wind currents. It was difficult actually.
That actually sounds difficult. I do agree.
But that's really it for me. Now that I've caught up on my Dresden Files, I'm sure I'll start playing some more games. I don't know what. I really should play Resident Evil Village, huh?
Yeah.
I kind of got the hankering to play Final Fantasy VII Remake again too, though. So I don't know.
So, Resident Evil 8. I know it makes you barfy.
It doesn't really. I just never I got like an hour and a half into it, and I couldn't figure out how to get over a wall at one point, and I got really upset when it was just like you just push a button. I was like, fuck you, game, and I turned it off.
Well, what I was going to say is if you purchase the DLC, it does add the new perspective. So you don't have to buy the gold edition, which I thought you did. Mm-hmm. You can just get the DLC. So I could play in
third person.
Yeah, so you can play in third person. You get the extra content. But it's also like $20 for third person, so I don't know if that's worth it.
But you get the DLC.
What?
Right? It comes with the DLC?
Yeah. It's part of the DLC.
So that might be worth it.
Yeah. Or
Or
if you're looking at Final Fantasy Remake,
Uh-huh.
there's another Final Fantasy VII Remake game coming out around
Crisis
the holiday.
Core.
Crisis Core. Yes. Do I need to play that?
You don't need to.
Should I?
They're turning it into Kingdom Hearts, and I hate it.
Well, okay, so Crisis Core is an older one, though. Like, I had it when it was out on PSP. It was originally a PSP game they're remaking. And it was good. I was pleased with it. It's more of like an action game. Like, it's like an action RPG more than 7 Remake.
Got it.
So you would probably have fun with it. But you definitely don't need to play it to understand story or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I never finished it. I got to some boss that was like too hard for me to play past, and I was old enough where I didn't want to focus on that, and I stopped, and then I let a friend borrow it and my PSP, and he still has both. So that's why I haven't got further.
You know what no one needs to play? Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus. That's all.
Never have.
I don't even know what that
They'll
is.
remake it soon.
That's okay. You don't have to.
You play as a character you haven't even met yet in the game, and that's it.
And it's he's so goth he shits bats is how I like to put it. Fleming.
Hi.
How you doing? I see you're drinking an alcoholic beverage. What you drinking?
I am.
What you playing? How you doing? How's your knee?
What you buying?
So I am drinking a Sam Adams Cold Snap. It is a white ale. It's a little bit old. It has the little wine in June of this year, so it needs to get drank and out of my fridge. So I'm working through this. I don't even know when I bought it. I remember drinking them on podcasts earlier this year, so it might be from like last March or so. So I'm trying to get through that.
Nice.
Because these need to be gone.
That's my problem with beer as an old man. I don't drink it fast enough for it to leave my house on time.
I mean, it tastes just as good as, like, I had one of them before. It was a part of a pack. I've had one before. It tastes the exact same. It's just, it's kind of nasty when you think about the fact that, like, it's just sitting in your fridge for months. But it's Sam Adams. It's not like it's,
doesn't turn into cough syrup when the date gets hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that's a little bit more questionable. So it's good. I just need it today. I have been incredibly busy with work. It's really taken a lot of my time. The past few weeks, I've got interviews of people. I've got work things. I have people finding things that I've already taken care of, making them be an issue again. That's all I can say. So it's been frustrating. Just been very tiring. On top of that, to give context to the knee for people that are listening and actually curious about my physical condition and health, I ran a marathon this past weekend, and that took a lot of running training time. I wasn't getting enough training up until September, and then I was like, I am not going to be able to finish this race if I don't, get going. So I started really training in the past month. I've been training a lot, so I played a lot less games. So to that point, my knee is better now. Basically, it's still a little bit sore, but it's gotten better. I had to run out to the store this evening, and I could feel it as I was walking around, but it wasn't painful in any way. It just was present. But it's interesting because I've never had like skeletal muscular problems. I've always just had like fatigue, if you will. So it's been a very interesting time, and I didn't perform as well as I could have because of the pain of that. But all that being said, I played a little bit of AoE 2 still. That's like all I play right now because I just have so little energy to try something different. And if I play poorly, who cares? I'm playing unranked games, so it's not a big deal. And team games at that, so it's easier as well. Yeah, I haven't really played much else, unfortunately. So that's basically it. I feel like I'm missing things that are very intriguing and inspiring and thought-provoking, but
I have a question for you.
You can give me any question you want.
Well, actually, 2 questions. It's a twofer. Number 1, you did 100% Spider-Man?
I did 100% Spider-Man on like the hardest before the hardest difficulty, whatever they call it.
Harder.
It's probably hard difficulty or something like that. I know like the top level is like either brutal or superhero or something. I started
Medium well.
that. Short, medium, well.
Yeah.
I started that and got to like 50%, but I did 100% the game. I didn't get the DLC stuff though, so it's technically, you could argue, did not 100% the game.
The main,
and I'm waiting.
the main
Yeah,
content.
the main game, the original game, I did 100%, and it took way too much time, and I don't know why I did it. So I'm probably not going to go back and do that. But I did put Miles Morales on my wish list.
Yeah, that was
if I
going to
get
be
enough
my
time.
second question, because I actually got the advertisement today on Steam about pre-ordering that, and I was like, I wonder if Fleming's going to get that, since he seemed to enjoy the first one.
Wouldn't spend full price on it. That's the only thing I would say. It's very short.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until there's like a Steam winter sale or something, and then maybe get it, or find it somewhere else and then get it. I think I did play a little bit of Hearts of Iron 4 because I got some DLCs a couple weeks ago, and we haven't podcasted in a little while, so I remember playing those. The DLCs helped a little bit. It's made it a little bit better, but naval invasions are still stupid by the AI. They're not good. They're random and they come out of nowhere, and then you're like, okay, so I'm halfway through Russia, but now I have to send an army back because they landed in Denmark for some reason, and they're like, oh, let's invade, and you're just like, United Kingdom, go away. This is annoying. So yeah, I played a little bit of that a couple weeks ago, I remember. But yes, I will play Miles Morales when I think it came out already now on Steam. I know it was coming out in November. I just forget the day. But I don't have time, unfortunately, right now, so I haven't gotten to it. However, in regards to superhero games, you did bring up one thing I wanted to say. There needs to be. We've talked about games that like we wish existed, and maybe you guys will tell me, hey, there's a game like that. There needs to be a MMO or something like that, where you are all in a city, kind of like almost like GTA or something like that, like a big city. And you need to be able to make a superhero, and there's certain skills you can give your superhero, and you can either be a supervillain or you can be a superhero.
Pretty sure that used to exist.
Great news for you.
Been there.
I don't think they existed. City of Heroes and City of Villains, right?
The server's finally shut down. Yeah.
It's shut down, but there are emulators for it where you can just play it.
But is it like good? That's my concern.
Well, it's shut down. Does that answer your question?
For the time it was.
I've played it before. It's entertaining. There's also Champions Online, which I think is still on. I played that for a while. That one was pretty good too. But like every MMO, it just runs into a point where you're just grinding the whole time to get extra powers and stuff.
You want that cape, or you want to be able to jump across the entire city.
Yeah. That's the most fun in those games, honestly, is you get what's called travel powers at a certain point where you get to pick if you can fly or jump or run fast and stuff like that. And like the biggest bummer is if you pick flying, like the first, like, because you have to wait to progress it. So like when you initially get flying, you are the slowest flying thing that has ever been.
You're better walking.
Yeah,
you just better walk.
It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go up this building like at 1 foot per second. Look at me.
There's a guy in an elevator next to you, just going faster.
Yeah, but it has a huge like variety of powers, and like what's really cool is you get to customize them a lot, like color and effects. And you normally get like 2 different like main power sets, so you get to kind of mix and match, and one of them actually is even just like minions. So like
City
there's
of
a
Villains.
I think there's a hero class that's like that too.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Where you get to summon like I don't know what they call them in that one, but you get to summon like little robots or something, I think, on the hero side. And the villain side, you get to bring out like henchmen.
Yeah, I think I had like ninjas or something for my character. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was playing through Spider-Man, like I said, and playing way too much of it. I was like, I love Spider-Man. I don't love all superheroes. Some are bad, but Spider-Man in particular is a good superhero who has a good story.
Yeah.
Who, you can kind of believe to be true. There's a little bit corny stuff in it, but it's overall a good story and a good one. So I was like, there needs to be something like that.
Something
where
more.
I can play with other people and be Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'd play something like that if they brought it back.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even need to bring it back. There's literally emulators out there where you can just download the game and play it, and
There
it
we
doesn't
go.
cost anything. So
Oh yeah, because you used to have to pay what, like $14 or something.
at least
A month? Oh,
10,
God.
if not 15 a
Wow.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the old MMO. I mean,
I
it still
know.
is for World
Yeah.
of
It
Warcraft.
is.
It's the same thing.
So stupid.
Yeah, and like
Final Fantasy 14.
like you said, my biggest problem with that is like the grinding of that stuff. Like I wouldn't want it where someone's played 1,000 hours, so they're just better. I'd want you to have
Mhm.
abilities that you can add, which have,
well,
like they have like restrictions. So like if you're like, oh, I want to fly, well then you're gonna be really weak because something or someone that has to fly needs to have certain like bone density. You know what I mean? Like so you're weaker than like someone else who's like a big like Hulk-like person or
Yeah,
something.
there's-
So,
You need
still
hollow
that-
bones. You'll shatter.
yeah, exactly.
there still is like trade-offs like that with your different powers. It's just that there's a leveling to it as well. So like you have to go through the progression to get to level, I don't know, 80 or 100 or
Well,
whatever.
that's stupid,
And-
Tom.
Sure. Okay.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was something as I was playing the game. I was like, I assumed there were games that I had not played, and likely because of cost, I was just like, no, it's not worth it. And those games aren't fun if you play by yourself, even with other online people generally. So I was just like, it'd be cool if something like that exists. So it's cool to know that something did exist, and you can emulate it to play. But
Champions
if it's
Online
older.
is still out there apparently, because I bought that and I was playing that back in the day. I remember I had a guy that looked like a black Power Ranger that would just run up to people and punch the crap out of them.
Oh.
It was named the Rook. That was my character.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
still in my Steam library.
Cool.
Then there's also DC Universe Online, which is a pile of dog shit. So
Well, yeah, I assumed that they may have come out with something. So why was it a pile of dog shit? Out of curiosity.
I tried it. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I'm just not that into the DC universe, and I don't care that much about Booster Gold and other strange characters that show up in it a lot.
I think
So-
if you said name some DC characters, I'd be like, Batman's part of DC, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, who after that?
Just
I'm
start
like,
naming D-list characters. Moon Knight. No, shit, they made a show about Moon Knight.
No, that's
Moon
That's
Knight's
Speedball.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Speedball?
Meatball?
Speedball.
Oh,
Are
Speedball.
we talking about heroin now?
No.
Yes.
Be funny if Speedball was a heroin.
A heroin addict.
They're like a
Like
female hero.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a Batman villain called the Human Quilt or something like that, I think.
Sweet.
I don't know. They came out with so many through the years. I mean, those have been around for
Wonder
what?
Woman.
I think Spider-Man's from the 80s.
Ladies
Right?
don't fight crime.
I don't know.
80s.
No, Spider-Man's got to be further
Seven-
back than the 80s, at least the
70s?
70s, if not the 60s.
I'm pretty sure it's the 60s, but
Yeah.
The 60s? Really? I thought maybe it was the 70s or like right at the start of the 80s, but maybe it's
1962.
Holy
Oh.
crap, it's older than I thought. I thought it was like I thought if you said 72, I'd be like, okay, I was off by a little bit.
Amazing Fantasy number 15, 1962.
60 years of Spider-Man.
Man.
Yep.
Spider-Man.
Spooderman.
Spider-Man. Anyway, so
Speedball.
I've been playing Spider-Man. Sorry, everybody in the podcast for derailing the conversation to talking about Marvel and DC and how I don't know many of the characters, but Spider-Man is cool. You're the topic boy, Tom? Is there an actual topic tonight, or are we just shooting the poop?
No, but I can talk about what I've been playing.
Wait,
Is
can
it
I
Madden?
can I do one more Spider-Man tangent real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know which comic it is because I don't actually read the comics, but apparently there's one where MJ is dead because Peter Parker's sperm was radioactive and he gave her cancer.
That's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that like a recent writing?
probably.
They just do random
Probably,
shit,
yeah.
man. He's been around for 60 years.
They gotta. Never mind.
And he's still like 24.
No, he's an old man
No,
in this
he's-
one,
Yeah.
and
They-
he's super sad because his sperm killed his wife.
Oh, it actually killed her. He didn't find like a super cure.
No, she dead.
Do you think they played that Imagine Dragons radioactive song while it happened?
That'd be the ultimate in irony.
He just sits down next. He's sitting next to her, holding his hand. And the doctor walks in, and he's
I
just
hate
like,
this.
he's just like, MJ, you're going to die. Why? Because this guy who you've been married to for 40 years and actually like in the in the comics has finally given you too much radiation through his semen. And then he's like, I'll let you think about it. And he just turns on that and just walks out.
So Tom, what have you been playing?
Get us out of here.
I fell down the dark path and I started playing DayZ again. So enjoy that.
Oh no!
What are you doing,
Tom? No.
Don't draw us in.
No, it's the same server that I've played on that you guys had not joined me on before, but they had a reset a little while ago. If only. Banana Hammock is the stuff of legends. There used to be a server that we played on, which we've talked about every once in a while on this podcast, called Banana Hammock Adventure, which is the best name for a server anywhere. And I wish it would come back.
It's a bunch of boys playing Banana Hammock Adventures.
God.
This one is called like End Times, DayZ End Times or something like that. But it has missions and cars and all the crap that we liked from the other one. So it's fairly similar. And it has a decent population of people. I'm at the point where I should build a base because this one has advanced base building. And you can build these workbenches where you can craft special stuff, but it has to be a part of a base. So they're also not annoying, and they don't make you build a base while an admin watches you build your entire base.
Are you on their Discord?
I do have their Discord, yeah. I don't really follow it. I just am on there. I used to follow the other one, but I don't follow this one. I just check there if they're like, we're going to get... Recently, they had a thing where they're like, we're going to get rid of this section of cars. Make sure you don't buy one of these. And I was just buying a car, so I just made sure I didn't buy one of those. But I bought a Land Rover, which is actually a fun vehicle. It goes pretty fast, and it handles off-road well. It has a lot of slots on it for gear, so that's all I'm really looking for. There's a secret trader on this server, which they don't tell you where to find him. They just give you like a picture of where he's at, and it's a shitty picture. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. But some people have found him, and they'll offer like, hey, if you pay me a certain amount, like I'll just take you there, and then you can mark it on your map. So I'm going to stoop and pay somebody at some point. But I don't really play it a whole lot. I just play it when I'm like, man, I've had a hard day. Shooting zombies would really feel good right about now. So, and then when I do it, it normally takes up like 2 hours of my life minimum, because you have to drive to a thing, kill zombies, get the gear, load up your truck, go drive to a trader, sell your gear, go find another thing to do. Yep. There's no Roadblock, sadly. Roadblock was a good one. Roadblock, I miss the Stronghold. The Stronghold was an experience.
I was the only one out of us that got to do it twice. Megan never got to experience it.
Yeah, I never did it.
It was scary, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
And that's when we were rolling in with like big machine guns, and these were like enemies that would take dozens of hits to die.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you were like running from platform to platform, blast them as much as you could. Not easy. It was fun though.
I will admit to wanting to play DayZ again, but I recently uninstalled it, so I have not reinstalled it. I also
want to play it.
I also thought about playing Project Zomboid again too, and I was like, I wonder if my character is still alive, because like we haven't played it in months. If I go back onto that server, would my character still be alive with his cool chef pants and his short blade skill?
I love you guys. I love you guys. I have no interest in playing Project Zomboid. I'm sorry.
If we had a comparison though between DayZ and Project Zomboid, I actually think Project Zomboid is more of a
realistic,
survivalist game versus
I agree.
Versus DayZ. DayZ's just a shoot 'em up for me.
There's actual skills to build up in Project Zomboid and like things to do and worry about. DayZ is like, as soon as you can hoard food, you're fine.
Yep.
Like you could just hang out in a bunker all day and you'd be fine. But Project Zomboid's like, your person got bored and they're sleepy. And you're surrounded by zombies.
And there's a horde outside.
Yeah.
And you got bit on the one place you weren't protected, and now you are dead.
Yep.
I'll just as a general note about all of those games, I love how server names are always completely vanilla, like server 42A, or it's like Banana Hammock Adventures, killing boys with the boys, or like a really try hard like Black Knights Evil Death server, like
Blacklands.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like all the really bad Photoshop pictures they used to have loading into Blacklands, where it was like a Grim Reaper,
Grim
like
Reaper,
holding.
yeah.
Yep.
Those were the days.
The
Splatter
DayZ.
text.
I told you guys I did like a donation to their server, and I got like the cigar room. It's called the cigar room on their Discord server, where there was like a chat among the donors, and they would give you like a starting package if you die. Like you would get a starting kit when you
I
respawned.
do remember that.
Oh,
I
wow.
never died, and it didn't matter. I was just like, I had a good enough time on your guys' game that here's $20. Like, thanks.
And honestly,
That's-
the best time I think that we had on that server was they were like, well, we're gonna do a reset, or the server's gonna close. So we just like did ridiculous stuff like racing across the map, and then I believe it was Tom and Fleming who crashed 2 cars into each other going like
Yes.
100 miles an hour.
I remember that. That was awesome.
And then I shot Fleming
Shot-
off the
getting
top of a
shot.
tower.
Yep. While
was painful.
saluting.
Yeah.
Building our base with the McDonald's mobile. I think about it, and I think some of the most fun of that server was having to find cars.
Yeah, once we
Because-
had cars, there was no like trying anymore.
No, you didn't have to. Like, you found them everywhere. And that's how the server I'm on right now is, like, you have to save up money to buy the best cars, so you have to keep trading shit in to get stuff. But it just creates a cycle, and you already have a car, right? I was like, it was fun when you found a beater, and you would, like, mark it, and you had to go run and get all your shit and fix it up. I liked that. Like, I don't know. We had a good time being the pit crew.
The struggle,
Dang
man.
game.
The fun
Yeah,
is in the struggle.
Yep.
There's things to be said about those traders and stuff like that, and there's also things to be said about like the first night. I remember the first night you guys played, there was a helicopter on top of the warehouse, and because it was a team of 3, we were able to get everything we needed there and fix it up, and we were able to fly in a helicopter, which I'd been playing for like 2 months and had not even seen a helicopter. So the idea that we were able to get one and fly it was really cool. So I like that whole like, okay, we need to, gather everything, and then we need to sneak in because we don't have that many bullets to fight endless amounts of zombies. So that stuff's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, DayZ mod was a little bit more fun from that aspect, I think. And I don't think any of the other mod servers that I've seen have really tweaked it to the same degree, where there wasn't really a trader, but you were still able to find guns and ammo and food to have a good time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's still kind of fun here and there.
That's
It's still glitchy too. I fell through, like, I just opened my car to go get something and I fell through the floor into the ocean. So that's fun.
I feel like there's still no game that's really like scratched that itch all the way. Like, even though we found games we enjoy, obviously, The Forest, Raft.
I tried Rust at one point. That was kind of close, but I was just a very nude lady that couldn't find things to do things
Yeah,
with.
like, you mentioned Rust. Fleming, I know you played Ark Survival for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard things about, like, 7 Days to Die. Just like, I don't know, man.
I think it's also, though, is that when DayZ was like, I mean, we played it maybe, 5 months, a year ago? Was it a year ago now?
Oh, God!
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, so I think the thing is that as we get older, it's much harder to justify those, like, slower progression kind of games.
Sinking
is
your
precious.
life into something.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we spent 5 hours trying to get a car and we ultimately failed and we have nothing to show for it, and there goes 5 hours of our life, and that's all the time I'll have all week because I'm so busy with other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, a big challenge with those kind of games, is that if you can't get up and get started right away and get boomed into a really good character or what you want. It's just like, I don't know if that was like worth the time, because I think Tom, for example, with Project Zomboid, if you saw all the stuff that I was able to build up and how strong Pinto and I were getting, because we were getting pretty strong, because your character has like skill points you get, like it got really cool, but the fact that it could disappear in a fraction of a second, in your weeks or month of play, it's tough.
I just wasn't into that game. I tried. I like the ideas behind it. I just I don't know, turning it into like 2.5D Sims DayZ. I wasn't into that.
Yeah, I think the last time we played, I got upset because I thought I was going to die, and my character had been alive for a very long time, and I ended up pulling through, and then I still just never went back, because like I don't want to actually go through losing this character that I put like so much time and effort into, because that game is very, very unforgiving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I don't like the unforgivingness part. I mean, that's just me as a pansy. But I also just, I had to be told a lot of what I need to do. And I feel a lot of the game was like, follow Fleming to do something.
That's basically every game we play.
Sometimes. I normally can figure out what I'm doing in a lot of stuff, but like the way you have to figure out and navigate things, and that was just like a little too complex for me.
The map was not very intuitive. I will say that I never understood the map very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't have fun. That's all right.
Did you like
that
it,
shouldn't
Megan?
preclude you guys from playing it if you want to have fun with it. It's just I didn't have fun. So.
Did you enjoy Project Zomboid, Megan?
I enjoyed the company of the three of you.
So no, you didn't. That's fine.
No, it was a struggle for me.
You can be on Team Tom with this.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm sorry. It's a no for me.
I'll say I liked the game. I completely agree with you guys, though. It's an unforgiving game. There was once where I was surrounded and I was like, I'm going to die, and I fortunately did not, but like I could have, like I easily could see how I was about to die, and like as soon as you get caught, you're done for, and like there's nothing you can do, and like it's like I said, it's the idea of losing everything that quickly is, as I get older, it's just very frustrating. Whereas like I lose a game of StarCraft, I lose a game like a game of Counter-Strike or something like that, it's like, okay, I lost the game, whatever, not a big deal, I can go play another one. So I totally get it, and there was a lot of attributes and stuff to deal with. I think all those kind of games do better when you have more control as like an admin of the server. So for example, if we're like, hey, getting bitten is stupid, like I don't mind dying from being eaten, but if I take one stupid thing because I'm trying to open a door and it's hard to click, and then the zombie comes right out, and I know he's there, but he still gets the little
the violin sting.
Yeah, the violin sting or whatever. It's like, and then I get bitten, on his first attack. It's like, okay, now I just wasted, a month of time with this character. I'm back to square one. So I totally get that. I just think that game is like true survival, true struggle.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's also not fun just by yourself. I will say that too. It gets very boring by yourself, and very very scary because you have no one to back you up.
Yeah, I mean, DayZ gets like that too. Not the scariness as much, but it's like those are both games that I think are more fun when you play with other people. Just there's something about getting a squad together and being able to run out somewhere or find something and kind of share the joy of the moment with all that.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of why I enjoyed DayZ so much, is because we were all so into it for those couple of months we were playing. We're like, I only had to work at night, say, so I'd jump on at like 12 o'clock, and I would just see Fleming on the server. Like we didn't communicate that we would be on together, but I'd be like, hey man, it's like, yeah, I'm on lunch, I'm gonna go do Roadblock, you want to join? I'd be like, hell yeah. The same thing happened like with you, Tom, and even Megan. You would hop on at some points too, and it was just really cool to jump on and you guys would just be on without any communication beforehand. And then even there were moments where, and I don't know if it happened so much in that period, but I remember like back when we were playing DayZ mod, we would get one, and again, this has to do with more of us having free time and being less responsible adults, but one of us would get into a situation and then just message the other person on like Facebook and be like, yo dude, I'm pinned down in this area, can you come save me? And be like, yeah, I'll be on in 5 minutes, just hang tight.
I remember that happened over a lunch break too with you when you logged in and you said that there were people in our base. So I was like, screw it, I'm logging on, I'm going to defend the base.
Yeah.
I took my lunch break turned into trying to protect the base. I don't think I was successful because it takes a while to load in, but
part of me wonders if we would have fun on like a DayZ server where it was PvP and you could like build your base and stuff and like raiding was a thing.
I think it just got frustrating at that point because like even back when we were doing DayZ mod, we just didn't have enough time, and we played a lot. Like we played a lot back then, but people just kept raiding our base over and over to the point where we had to move our base like 4 or 5 times, and it just got tedious at that point.
Well,
yeah, that's
the raiding wasn't. I wouldn't mind being killed and someone takes a bunch of my stuff and whatever. But the problem was that it always happened when we weren't online or like we were already at a disadvantage. Like it's hard to say you have like a defender's advantage because you know your base layout, for example, or you've positioned your sniper positions that they won't be able to use because they're coming from the woods. Like I've seen where they've done like a 50-person server, 25 on 25, defending a castle or something like that, like a pre-built one by the mods. Those are really cool to watch. It's just you need 50 people, or how many people you get. You need people that like kind of have some degree of gentlemanly agreement of how you're going to engage, like rules of engagement and stuff. And like if you're not the admin, or the admin just is too laid back, or he's part of the raiding party and doesn't follow his own rules, like that is like, okay, whatever. So I think if I were to play one of those at this point, I would really look strongly into hosting my own server that people connect to, because then I can say, well, someone raided me overnight, I figure out who it is, and I warn them, ban them, and just keep the people that actually like want to play the game how I want it to be played, versus having to deal with how a server admin has decided.
So I'm giving the camera the shifty eyes because I've thought about trying to host a DayZ server.
Tom,
I have no idea what it takes.
The joypad server, guys.
Oh no.
So, but I have no like timeline on this, but it's just something I might look into when I have a minute, which is not right now. But
DayZ is just a hard one. Like I looked into Project Zomboid because I was curious about that, and that was pretty streamlined. I'm sure there's some guides you can follow, but DayZ also just has a lot of like coding kind of things that like you would have to know scripting at least a little bit to probably be successful, and that can make it a challenge.
And also the problem is, with mods, if someone who created a mod is just like, yeah, I'm taking this offline, then they can break your server, as we saw happen with like the one guy that had a whole bunch of weapons, and he's like, yeah, I'm not into it anymore. I'm just gonna get rid of this. And if you have those weapons on you when you log into the server, you turn into like a gray square or something like that when you log in.
Yeah, we lost a lot of guns with that. I think we had probably like 60 or more guns that were from that pack, and they just all disappeared.
Yep.
And I had one on me, and I got in, and one of the mods was like, wow, you're really lucky that you're okay. But nah, I don't know. I mean, it's just something that like if I have time, I think it might be fun. But I also know that once Pokemon shows up, I'm just gonna play that. So
that once Pokemon shows up, you're not gonna have time.
Yeah. Well, I already don't have that much time. It's just like I'll play and do like one mission, come back. So it's like maybe I'll just fuck with it when I have time, and I'll feel like I can do something. Also, my networking is in a weird position in this house because my router's right behind me, my computer's to my right, it's on Wi-Fi, and if I were to try and like hook up a computer to run the server, it would probably be in the basement. So I'd have to find a way to get like a wire down into the basement. I already have a power line adapter down there. It doesn't run that fast. So it's like, that's some more just bullshit I don't want to deal with.
Yeah, I've looked into like for our server, right? To host files. Like it's just it's a lot of effort. And at some point you have to like bring in an electrician, and then it's like, is this really like all the stuff I want to do to like have someone drilling holes in my wall, or like in the one that I brought in to ask about it because he was here for other stuff. He was like, yeah, I think the best option actually is just do a hole out of your attic and run a PVC pipe down the side of your house and then dig into your basement. I'm like, this just doesn't like, it makes sense, but it's just like one of those like, yeah.
Do I really want to do that?
Well, then then in our case, Tom, we have wives who are like, I don't know if I want you doing that. It's like, okay. So like,
all right, guys, I'll do it. God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it sounds like what I'm saying is, so I'd really appreciate if you could host our DayZ and Ark and whatever other games we decide servers.
My wife wouldn't give a crap. But no, it's interesting too, because like Wi-Fi is just so much better than it has been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Wi-Fi I have on my newest computer here is like, I get like almost gigabit speeds on it, and I just installed a Wi-Fi card on another PC because I'm weird and I have a PC in the living room that I use when my wife is watching TV and I want to play DayZ and still be in the same room with her. So I've just put a Wi-Fi card in on that because the power line adapter was doing terrible, and that one will do like 500 megabits away from the router over there. And I'm like, well, do I really need a hard line then, or do I just need a bunch of Wi-Fi repeaters? I don't know. But
the problem with Wi-Fi repeaters are their own thing, but the problem is that the best option will be access points, and with access points you need to have them wired, so kind of defeats the purpose.
That's fair.
I just want to say that you said the word power line, and that's the name of the pop star in a Goofy movie, and now I have Eye to Eye stuck in my head.
Very nice.
And on that note,
why aren't they making Kingdom Hearts 4?
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought Kingdom Hearts 3 and I haven't played it, and I don't know if I will.
You guys remember way back when we started this podcast 3 years ago almost, when I was like, I'm going to play all the Kingdom Hearts games. And then I got through 2 of them, and I stopped. I've thought about that often. I've thought about going back to them, and then the motivation just is not there.
I've watched videos on who people are in Kingdom Hearts, I'm just like, why?
There's like 3 characters that are like twins of each other. And I'm like, but they're different people from different timelines, but they look exactly the same. How the hell am I supposed to...
Nobody, and this person's heartless, and... Shut up and be a person, goddammit.
Kairi comes in 3 different flavors: strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate.
Like, can Goofy just be Goofy? Come on now.
Goofy is just Goofy. Goofy is like... Goofy and Donald are like the foundation of Kingdom Hearts. They're just who they are, and that's it.
Yep.
No more, no less.
It's... I don't... Listen, when Kingdom Hearts came about as a game, it was just like, we're going to have Final Fantasy Disney. And it was like, that's cool.
Yep.
That's a game. We'll do it. And I played it, and it was great. And then they made Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was somebody else, and I was fighting robe boys, and I didn't know why, and then I stopped playing. Also, for some reason, like, I think the Final Fantasy X girls were pixies or something.
Yes, they were.
Why?
Because Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like they don't need to try so hard. That's the thing that got me. Like the original Kingdom Hearts was fine because it didn't try that hard. It was great. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 was like, we're going to throw in all of the Final Fantasy nonsense. And it was like, no, I just wanted to go to Tarzan World.
I did not play Kingdom Hearts 3, but didn't they like greatly reduce the Final Fantasy presence and go like whole hog Disney pretty much?
Oh no.
I also didn't play it. I don't know. I bought it and I have not played it. So
I know
if you ever want to play it.
There's a big meme about Woody being like a super badass in one scene, I remember.
Really?
Oh yeah. He like tilts his hat down and shoves Sora out of the way to like deliver a badass line at some point. Like, hell yeah. Is it actually Tom Hanks? I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know if they could get Hanks for Kingdom Hearts. Then again, if he's into it, I'm sure, but they probably have to send him 3 typewriters for that one. Man loves typewriters.
It's probably
you guys ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, Tom Hanks collects antique typewriters, and like a famous way to ply him to do something is to send him an antique typewriter that like he's looking for. Yeah.
I mean, if you can afford it, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Well, I'm sure Disney / Square Enix could. So I don't know. Maybe he got 5 typewriters in the mail one day and then had to do some voiceover.
Damn it.
Oh, speaking of Square Enix, Tom, I know you saw this, but they recently like upped. I can't remember what it's called. They did like a copyright thing on the term symbiogenesis, and I was like, "Oh, Parasite Eve! Oh my God, are they bringing back Parasite Eve?" No, they're not.
What are they doing?
I don't remember. I just remember I was angry.
It's like a NFT, I think. It's just so at a point where I actually just saw online that Justin Bieber's $1.2 million Bored Ape NFT is now worth less than $60,000.
But I think
Square
Logan
Enix
Paul's
is going hard into that NFT game.
I think Logan Paul's like 1.6 million Pokemon card is still pretty good. He wears it on a chain when he goes out to wrestle. Do you know Logan Paul's a wrestler now?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. He just wrestled Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. He lost, as he should. But like, this is the world that we live in.
You know, that's fine. I don't mind if anybody going and becoming a wrestler. It's all. I mean, wrestling's just entertainment. It's all just for the love of the game. So.
Yeah, here's my favorite part. Is that so during the match, Roman Reigns started trash talking YouTube stars. He started like calling out Mr. Beast, and I was like, "Oh my God, I live for the day that the WWE champion fucking calls out Markiplier and challenges him to a match, because that's just what's happening now."
Markiplier, I'm here.
Imagine him calling out like Aaron from the fucking Game Grumps, because you know Aaron would like Aaron would go hard. Match. I know.
Him and Harley from Epic Mealtime, and he's still training boxing. It's ridiculous. Life has no real meaning anymore to the mysteries and strange oddities that occur. They just happen. We just live in the quantum vortex. Donald Trump has already been president. Just
Elon Musk is destroying Twitter as we speak.
Yes, Elon Musk is ripping apart Twitter. I don't know. I'm throwing my hands up. I think it's terrifying and interesting all at the same time. I saw that he sent out a letter that said, you can either commit to long working hours or you can take 3 months severance and fuck off. And I would be out of that company so fast. You cannot believe it. What an idiot. These are Tom's hot takes. I don't give a shit.
You had such a moment right there. You could have said Tom's Twitter takes, and I was so excited.
Oh no, Tom only has one Twitter take. That's the problem. That, like, if you follow my Twitter, it's just me talking about the Chicago Bears. So like, no, don't do that.
Never mind. It was your Tumblr that was men eating fruit salad.
Yeah, Tumblr. Oh, I used to do nothing but post pictures of men laughing alone eating fruit salad.
And you know what? I remember it, so you did something right, man.
Can we put that into Dolly? See
Oh.
what kind of nightmare fuel we get?
You sure can. You will definitely get some images. There's an alarming amount of stock images of just men laughing alone eating fruit salad. Count on it. If you get a subscription to Getty Images, you will have pages.
I'm good.
How do I get into that gig? I'd be one of those, dude. Buy me some fruit salad. I love fruit salad.
Salad boy.
Sign up as a stock image model. Back in the day when I worked at website company not to be mentioned on live podcast, they actually would just take pictures of employees doing things and use that as stock images for websites.
Is that the same one where you had to write an article about people eating fart burritos or something like that?
No, that was a job that I saw online while I was looking for freelance work, and it had a high dollar amount next to it and an inconspicuous title. And then it was writing the descriptions for pornography that revolved around flatulence. And they had a very vivid description, which I can't fully remember, but it was hilarious. I think Stinky Little Breezes was one of
yes,
the
yes, it was.
I had to think, but that's in there. That's not going anywhere.
And there's
The
another
world
title.
Is wild.
Yep.
This episode, Stinky Little Breezes.
Minute 55 is where everything breaks down, guys.
It is.
The worst part about that is like somewhere in your brain that will always exist.
Yep. I'll never not laugh at it.
In your brain somewhere is the phrase and like spider web of neurons figuring out Stinky Little Breezes.
Yeah, I'm trying to like do work, and then there's this little guy in my brain that just keeps going, Stinky Little Breezes, Stinky Little Breezes. I'm like, you're not helping.
I don't want you to fire right now.
Get
Go
with the
back.
program. It was 7 years ago. Yeah. All right. I'm shutting it down unless there's any objections.
I'm good.
There's no coming back from Stinky Little Breezes. That's the end of it.
I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention. But whatever it was, it's got Stinky Little Breezes took it out, man. I can't remember.
It did what it does. That's like cake farts. You'll never not think of cake farts.
All right, Tom, let's get this done.
All right. If you like the podcast, follow, subscribe, check us out at joypadpod.com. All of our links are there, including our YouTube channel, Facebook, and other social media presences, including our email. Drop us a line. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you would like us to do more of, or if you have a topic, things like that. I'll continue to talk about Stinky Little Breezes if you don't, so there's some incentive. If you would like to give us a review, that would be great. Reviews help us get our name out there. If you are Tasty Cake, give us a sponsorship for Strawberry Crimpets. If you are Wegmans, what up? Give us a sponsorship. I think that's about it.
If you're pretty much any company, we'd appreciate a sponsorship. I'm sure we have limits somewhere, but they're low. The bar is low.
Fart porn may not sponsor our podcast. Please no. Please no.
I don't know. What if we were sponsored by Stinky Little Breezes?
We need to make like a poopery company and just call it Stinky Little Breezes.
There it is.
That'd be fantastic.
We're supposed to be ending the podcast right now, Tom, so...
I mean, like I said, I could just go forever. So anyway...
I keep encouraging him.
Guys, I honestly don't look up Stinky Little Breezes. I don't know where that's going to take you. Please, if you're looking for freelance writing gigs...
Furiously types away.
If you're looking for freelance writing gigs, be extraordinarily careful. Make sure you read the job description, and always stay joyful. Goodbye, my
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.